Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the 3 reasons why I believe Bitcoin is still in a bull market, and later on in the video I'm going to be taking a deep dive into what Zilliqa is up to, our partner here on the channel. We're going to be talking about all the cool things they are up to nowadays, but let's dive right into the videos. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And this is the monthly time frame for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently in the process of retesting a previous resistance area, and this is reason number 1 why Bitcoin is still in a bull market, because back here we'd see rejection and rejection after rejection, and now we are currently in the process of potentially turning this area into a support on the monthly. Of course, downside wicking is possible, as I've been talking about in previous videos, and the weekly time frame is a better indication of that. Look at how wide this region overall is, from 55 to 60k roughly speaking, and you can see that we've seen some deep digs into the resistance area, even overextension, before ultimately rejecting from what is essentially a $5,000 wide region. So you can see that we can dig a little bit deeper into this region before rejecting, and by the same token, though we've just tapped into this historical demand area right now, we can still dig a little bit deeper into that support region, like we've been digging deeper into the resistance area before rejecting. And of course, you can see that the market dynamics here are changing, digging deeper into the resistance area before rejecting, and this is going to be the opposite of that. So we're going to dig deeper into the green area before reversing. That's how the market psychology has changed only over the past few months, from resistance area to demand area. Price is holding up quite nicely above the same regions that price would get rejected at. Now we're actually seeing buyers come in, so we're going to be seeing this level, this area, become solidified over the coming weeks. Reason number 2 why Bitcoin is still in a bull market is, according to the stock to flow model, we haven't yet seen an upside deviation in Bitcoin's price action beyond the stock to flow line, and this is what's needed for price to perform a bull market peak. You can see that in this cycle, upside deviation in Bitcoin's price beyond the stock to flow line, here as well, and here as well. We have not seen an upside deviation just yet, and whether or not we perform one in the coming weeks or months, whatever the case may be, this upside deviation needs to take place for that bull market to end, and we haven't yet seen that one. In fact, we're still in a macro reaccumulation range right over here at the very top of that range. We're still technically reaccumulating before that next push up, which will actually result in that upside deviation that I've been talking about. So that upside deviation hasn't begun, but once it begins, we'll have to start paying attention to Bitcoin's price action. Where could it peak later on? But at the moment, we're not even at that stage yet. The stock to flow upside deviation hasn't begun, and that's what's needed through a data science perspective. That's what's needed to see Bitcoin peak in the bull market. Still a ways to go in terms of that upside deviation. And the third and final reason why I believe we're still in a Bitcoin bull market is that we are above the Pi cycle moving average, the orange 111-day moving average, after perfectly retesting it as a support, which is an important technical retest to confirm a return into a bull market. Bitcoin has satisfied that, and at the moment it's still mid-trend. According to these 2 Pi cycle moving averages, we're still midway, this being the support, that probably going to be the next resistance, and it would be interesting to see a dip to 52k, which is now where this 111-day moving average resides, but that's not the most important thing to watch out for. Although it would be interesting to see that sort of test happen, it's not one that I think could be likely, but nonetheless worth putting it out there that this moving average is inclining, and it's really important to confirming the bull market, or at least in this case a return to the bull market, because we did lose this one over here, rejected from this moving average, but then retested it as a support. And if we retest it as a support successfully, then that's fantastic confirmation, but we don't have to do that. The main point here is that we're mid-trend according to the Pi cycle moving average, and aside from that, Aside from that, we're nowhere close to these two moving averages crossing over, and crossovers signal local tops or market cycle tops. And the last time we saw a crossover was back in May, and now we're actually very far apart from these two moving averages crossing over. So we're very far away from a confirmation, according to the pi cycle top indicator, from an actual bear market starting. So those are my three reasons why I think Bitcoin is still in the bull market. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let's now dive into the segment where we're going to be talking about Zilliqa in a lot more detail and talking about some of the cool things they're up to nowadays. Let's dive right in to that segment. Hey guys, welcome to this part of the segment where we're going to be looking at Zilliqa in a bit more detail, one of our partners here on the channel. And Zilliqa is the first public blockchain to implement sharding on its mainnet, and it offers high security to applications and enterprises. And one of the things to mention here is that now that Zilbridge is live on the Zilliqa mainnet, this means that you can easily bridge over Ethereum, WBTC, and USD assets to the Zilliqa blockchain seamlessly. But not only that, liquidity providers can, on these aforementioned pools, so Ethereum, WBTC, and USDT, you can potentially earn high yields on liquidity mining incentives alone. And this has been structured in a way that incentivizes and rewards early birds. So the goal is to reach a total value lock of around $60 million across the three cross-chain asset pools. But here are the APR statistics and APY statistics, and you can see that the total value locked in the three pools, if you see 20 million, then the APR is going to be 150%, 40 million, 75%, 60 million, 50%. So you can see that there is a declining tendency in the APR as the total value locked in the three pools inclines. And of course, it's really important to mention that when pooling assets on ZilSwap to earn yield, there is a risk that comes with providing liquidity, such as the risk of impermanent loss. But if we look at the three pools here, you can see that here's the WBTC pool, the Z Ethereum pool, the Z USDT pool. And you can see that the liquidity here, 13 million, 12 million, and 12 million, that's already 37 million, over $37 million worth of liquidity, and the APR across these pools is still over 100%. And the thing to mention about the liquidity across these three pools here is that 37 million across three pools is more than half the planned target for that $60 million incentive, early incentive program, and the APR is still above 100% across these three pools. And as you can see here, going back, 40 million in total value locked is going to see a 75% APR. So we're going to see a change in the APR sooner rather than later. But speaking of the Zilliqa blockchain, really important to mention that there is a high amount of usage and transactions on a daily basis on the blockchain. We're seeing these transactions average about 50,000, 60,000, even sometimes 45,000. So we're seeing on a daily basis high usage on chain here on the blockchain for Zilliqa. On a weekly basis, 350 to 400,000 transactions on the blockchain, and on a monthly basis we saw here the peak 2.5 million in April almost, whereas consistently we've been seeing an incline in around 1 million to 1.5 million transactions over the past few months, with November already at almost 500,000 transactions. So on chain we're seeing high usage and a high average of daily transactions on the Zilliqa blockchain. Not only that, but we're also seeing a booming NFT marketplace, with Switcheo Labs partnering with Zilliqa to launch a new NFT marketplace on Zilliqa. And this is a really good step in making the most of an opportunity in terms of helping accelerate the growth of NFTs within the ecosystem. And the marketplace itself is going to be housed on ZillSwap, the premier DeFi platform on Zilliqa. And the upcoming functionalities of the NFT marketplace will include a cross-chain bridge that allows not only NFTs on Ethereum to be bridged over to Zilliqa, but from Zilliqa to Ethereum as well. And this partnership between Zilliqa and Switcho Labs is a testament to the booming NFT ecosystem and the emerging NFT marketplaces. For instance, the Demonverse, where I actually remember the demons sold out relatively quickly. You can see here that Crypto Apes have sold out as well, and Crypto Myths are coming soon. And what's worth mentioning on top of that is the decentralized exchange for NFTs on the Zilliqa blockchain, and that's Okamoto. And what makes Okamoto so special here is that it has 0% sales fees. You only have to pay for the gas for listing your NFT, and that's much cheaper than what we tend to see with other exchanges taking as much as 5 to 7%, not to mention traditional markets which take as much as 12%. And the transaction fees generally are very small anyway, especially in comparison to the cost of fees on the Ethereum blockchain. In any case, guys, that's about it for the video. Feel free to check out all the links in the description down below. Follow Zilliqa on Twitter, check out their website in the description down below, join the engaged community on Telegram and Reddit, and feel free to read about a bit more when it comes to liquidity pools, the Pillar protocol, and much more. Check out all the links in the description down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.